Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, no matter where you are or what you're doing. I'm so glad that you are here with me today. Not everything needs to be an announcement. Real transformation happens in silence where there is no validation, no applause, just discipline and straight up alignment. This episode challenges the need to constantly share goals, healing, and plans. It reframes privacy as power, not isolation. Before we get into it, hello, my healing hotties. My name is Mar Noir Sinclair, and welcome to Her Healing TV, a podcast where I teach women how to rebuild, rebrand, and reclaim themselves after dealing with trauma. This is where discipline meets divinity, where emotional control becomes power, and where transformation is intentional, not chaotic. And when I say teach women, I honestly mean anybody. You can be a woman, you can be a man, you can be an alien, you can be a dog. I honestly don't care. I'm grateful for you being here and listening to me help you how to regroup and become whole again. Her Healing TV is now on all platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and many more. So please share as I would like this podcast to grow and flourish. So why is moving in silence so powerful? Ask yourself that. Silence confuses people because they have no idea what your next move is, which means they have no idea how to harm you or stop your plans. Energy protection is so real when it comes to your next move, especially when elevating. People will want to know what your next move is so they can attach negativity to it. They will hope that whatever it is fails before you even get it going. So protecting your energy behind your goal is like protecting your heart and peace. They are one in one. They coincide. They go together. Often people will try and talk you out of your next move because they are threatened by it. Don't fall for the trap. Not everyone in your life is clapping for you. And a lot of you already know this. The people in your life, whether they be family, friends, or whatever the case may be, coworkers, whatever, they're not clapping for you. They are not wanting to see you succeed. So you will learn that a lot of energy around you is fake energy. And you have to clock that. You have to pay attention to the people that you keep around you. So keep quiet because the art of silence is golden. For example, God usually builds his strongest soldiers in silence. That is protection from harm. He wants you to fully flourish and grow before releasing whatever it is that you are doing. He wants you to strengthen it. He wants you to have it all together on one accord before you release it so that no one can poke holes in it. No one can take away from it. On the other hand, broadcasting your plans too early kills momentum. You ever notice that when you start telling a bunch of people your plans, that you don't want to continue with those plans or ideas? You don't want to, like the feeling behind it just kind of dies down. Yeah, that's because you've already shown your hand. And so now there isn't any more excitement because you've given it all away. You've shown your hand. You've given away all your power. You've given away the art of being quiet and keeping what you're building sacred. We need to shift to nurturing and building our plans quietly until they are mature enough to hit the ground sprinting. We're not running, we're sprinting. So let's talk about what we call the dopamine trap. The dopamine trap is when it's modern habits, especially digital behaviors like social media. They hijack the brain's reward system. And so this leads to compulsive behaviors, reduced motivation, and emotional numbness. It leads to the idea or the need to be liked. Like you guys know social media, people are literally buying likes, dying for likes. Like People have died on social media to get likes. So that's a example of the dopamine trap. So announcing your plans has this way of making you feel as if it's already done. Like you're announcing it and you're telling people and you haven't even done the work, and now you don't want to do the work because you've already told everybody that you're doing the work that you haven't done. This kills your progress tremendously. You don't feel as inspired anymore. And that is a horrible trap for the creative, because once again, you have started something and not finished it. It's like you have put all of these expectations out there, and let's just say you don't live up to those sought out expectations. Now you are embarrassed and you are stuck. And then it also gives somebody the chance to come and scoop your idea and turn it into theirs and do it 1,000 times better because you've given it away. You can avoid that by building your kingdom behind closed doors. And once you've built that castle and put the finishing touches on it, you can release it. For me, praying and asking God for clarity of when you are ready to uncover your masterpiece would be the best way to unveil. Often we don't know, okay, well, when should I post this, or when should I reveal this, or when should I talk about this? Ask God. Pray to God and ask Him when it's a good time to release your masterpiece. He will give you signs. He will give you clarity. He'll tell you. So that's all that I can say about that. It's just ask God, and you'll know when that right moment is for you to show the world with what you've been creating. So the fact that we all crave validation on social media is another pitfall. We want people that don't even know or care about us to like us and accept what we have to offer, which is crazy. Somebody that doesn't even know you, why do you care what they think about you? Why do you care if they like what you're producing or putting out there? Why do you care if they do or don't like you? You don't even know them and they don't know you. So if you think about that for a minute and you say it out loud, it really sounds silly. And we're all victims of this. So I'm not coming for anybody. I'm not making fun of anybody, because I've also been a victim of this myself. I just don't care anymore. For one, the people that need to see what you have built will. Like there are people that will see what you are creating, and those are the people that need to see it. Anybody else really doesn't matter. Those people are your tribe. Those are the people who need your creation for whatever reason. For example, those are the people who may be needing to hear a message from you that day, or needed to learn something from you, learn something from your content, or learn something from something that you've put out or that you're building, or that book that you wrote. The people that see it and gravitate towards it are the people that need it. That's your audience. That's who you're doing this for. That's who you're talking to. Anybody else is null and void. And there are certain people that are supposed to touch and influence. There are certain people that you are supposed to touch and influence. You won't influence everybody, and that's okay. So like I just said, no one else matters but that audience, those people. And validation from strangers is absolutely insane. But with that being said, in my years of experience, people on social media, especially close friends, will purposely not support you because it's you. And it's sad. You can put out whatever content, whatever book, whatever, podcast, whatever. You can put it, whatever it is, out. You will get strangers commenting and congratulating you and thanking you versus your own family members, versus your own friends. And this is a proven fact. I don't know why. Please don't shoot the messenger. It's just how things are. I honestly don't know why it's like that. So maybe you guys can educate me, but it's weird and it's disgusting. But that is the society we are living in. It's another reason not to tell people, even people that are close to you, what plans you have. I hope all of this is making sense to you. But moving right along, even like a quick personal tip for myself. I started this podcast and I didn't tell anybody but my 11-year-old daughter. And she has not told anyone either. She comes to me, she asks me how it's going, and I'm like, yeah, we've already got 7 episodes. I talked to her, my 11-year-old child, I talked to her about my podcast. She's not an adult. I don't talk to her about the content of it, but I talk to her in the sense of she's rooting for me. She's so excited that her mom is doing something like this that the world will hear. And so she's happy for me. She congratulates me. She just looks at me in amazement like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this, Mom. So she's the only person that I've told. My friends and my family are like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just writing, creative writing. Whole time I'm preparing my episodes. I have not told anybody about this podcast, and that's because I want it to flourish. I want it to grow. I want to create it in solitude. That way I can shape it the way I want before it's being released to the world. But moving right along, healing isn't aesthetic, guys. We love the aesthetic. We love when things look all pretty and nice. Healing is not that. Healing is ugly. It's messy. It's lonely. It's unseen. I just had a therapy appointment this morning, talking to my therapist and explaining to her that on the drive home yesterday, I was praying. Well, I didn't have my eyes closed. I listened to prayer in the morning. And I just started crying tears of joy, thanking God for everything that he's done for me, everything that he's placed in my life. And that's a part of my healing. That's a part of my journey. And it happens often where I'll just cry out of nowhere, which is very ugly. I don't know. I think I might be an ugly crier. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever. But that's a part of my journey. Crying and just letting it all out, emptying that emotional meter until it's all gone. And then I go on with the rest of my day. So that's the ugly, messy, lonely, unseen part, because you might not always feel good, but that's okay. As I stated earlier, the idea of God sending his soldiers in the darkness, the idea of God building his soldiers in the darkness refers to the spiritual concept that individuals are shaped, prepared, and strengthened by God during quiet, hidden, or challenging seasons of life. So this is often described as a divine silence. A lot of times when God is silent in your life and you feel like nothing's moving, you feel like nothing's happening, you feel like things are just stuck or stagnant, and you're doing all the right things, you're praying, you're trying to be a better person, you are healing, you're working out, you're just doing all of the things, and you feel like nothing is being seen or nothing is being done. God, that's when he is at his best work. He is at his best work when he's silent, because he's preparing you for a breakthrough. He's preparing you for something better. He's preparing you for something stronger. He's stretching and preparing your body and your mind for what he's about to bless you with. So that's why I guess divine silence, it's divinity, but it's also kind of quiet. And so some people look at it as a bad thing. It's not. In my opinion, it's a good thing. It's just, you have to be patient and you have to wait for whatever it is that he's going to bless you with. Just continue to be consistent. Last week we spoke about the art of consistency. Just continue to be consistent, guys. In 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 7, it describes the building of Solomon's temple with no hammer, no chisel, or iron tools, because the stone was pre-cut. So they talk about how they were building this temple, but they didn't hear anything. They didn't, when you are doing construction and you're hearing the hammer, knock, 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 or you're hearing the drill, you're hearing all those kind of things. They didn't hear any of that. So how in the hell are they building this thing and we don't hear any of this? Because the materials were already pre-cut. God already had designed for what needed to be built. And so it was done in silence. So this morning, I actually took not to get off topic, but I actually took a seminar on transmuting negative emotions into power. So during this seminar, we did an exercise where we learned a technique of shamanic practices. So, and while engaging in this technique, again, I just started crying, y'all. It literally came out of nowhere, but it felt so good. And if you guys would have seen me, you would have said, like, what the hell is happening? Like, what is she doing? What does she got going on? But I was in the comfort of my home by myself. And I feel like that's when most of us heal and reach breakthroughs, when we are alone in solitude. So you don't need an audience to evolve. You don't need people to see or witness what God is doing for you. It's none of their business. I'm going to say it again. It's none of their business. We need to shift that mindset that everyone needs to know how God is blessing you. Again, divine silence. Whether you feel like something's happening or not, be quiet. Be quiet. Be disciplined. Be obedient. So the reason I say that is because people will send negative energy and vibes your way in hopes that your blessings are blocked, not just your content or whatever you're putting out there in the world on social media. People will literally try to block your blessings and not want God to bless you. So talking about your blessings, talking about what God's doing for you or isn't doing for you does not need to be broadcasted. It's nobody's business, because once people know what you have going on, they will try to block it. They will want God not to bless you. They like when you feel sad or when you feel stuck. They don't want you to pray. So you can avoid this by none other than staying quiet. What we're going to talk about next is discipline over attention. So you have what we call quiet routines and you have loud routines. Quiet routines include your praying, your meditating, your fasting from like social media or food, whatever you choose. These routines promote healing and spiritual growth and elevation. Versus loud routines, like talking about what you're doing, telling people how God is moving in your life, talking too much, and broadcasting. Instead of talking to the next person, take that time out to talk to God. Instead of talking to people on social media, take that time to meditate. Take that time to step away from social media to elevate in solitude. I literally keep saying the same things because consistency. You do the same thing. You keep doing the same thing that is working for you. You're going to go places, kid. You are going to go so many places. Staying disciplined and quietly working through your healing process will always prevail versus wanting people to see you and give you attention. Again, why would you want attention and validation from people who don't know you or care about your well-being? That's the difference between what we call performers and transformers. Performers are people that put on a show. They want you to think that they have it all together. But baby, they don't. Performers never have it all together, honey. Okay? They want people to think that they have something that they don't. And so they will portray that. You have to watch out. You have to be mindful of those performers. There's a song by Energy Shift Radio called Main Character. In this song, she says, they saving face while I was facing truth, explaining what I just said. People will try to save face by pretending. People will try to, they don't want to acknowledge what's going on, like reality, because they're scared of what people think about them. They are scared of what's actually lying underneath. They don't even want to get to know the real them. You guys ever think about people that break up with somebody and then 6 months to a year later, they're in a relationship? Like, that is insane because you haven't even had time to heal and fix whatever issues and problems you just left this relationship with, and you're bringing those same problems into a new relationship. You haven't even had time to sit with yourself and really process what traumas you may have went through. And this is for men and women, because men also go through trauma. But you haven't even had time to sit and think about the trauma that you went through and how it may have hurt you. You think that filling that void with somebody else is going to help you. You think it's going to make you better. You think that it's going to change you as a person. And no, sweetheart, you have to sit with yourself. You got to sit with your ugly. You have to sit with your disgusting. You have to sit with the person that you are to understand, damn, another failed relationship. Why are these relationships keep failing? Because you haven't healed. You have not sat down and took the time to realize who you are. But you want to publicly post relationships and publicly tell people that you've moved on, but yet and still you haven't. And that's the God's honest truth. You have not moved on mentally, spiritually. You're stuck there. But physically, you want to show people that you've moved on and that, oh, look at me, I'm doing so much better. And in hindsight and in reality, you're not. So, we aren't pretending over here. We are actually doing the difficult work in healing, which will help us elevate and move forward. When you sit with yourself and you sit with the things that you don't like and the feelings that you haven't expressed and things that you may be going through and things that you may want to change with yourself, and you pray about those things, you journal about those things, you go outside and you walk, you meditate. When you do the real work, shadow work, healing your inner child, you elevate. You move forward spiritually and mentally because you've had time to say, okay, I need to stop doing this, or this is what I need to change, or how do I change this? What process can I take to change this? That is the real work of healing and of elevating. She also says, I chose evolution when they chose filters. Oh my God, this is so good. But yeah, she says, I chose evolution when they chose filters. If you get the chance, please go listen to this song. It's called Energy Shift Radio. Well, the artist is Energy Shift Radio, and it's called Main Character. But she's just saying, like, people choose to front on social media, in real life, whatever, in general, while she chooses to elevate. Do you know how powerful that is? Like, people will put on a mask, put on a filter, literally a filter, versus really facing who they truly are and trying to change. The real ones know that social media fame is a joke compared to real pain and figuring out who you are and what your real purpose is. That social media stuff is a joke compared to real healing. And I'm here to tell you, because I did real healing. I sat with my ugly. I sat with what I didn't like about myself. I sat with my failed relationship. I sat with my past. I sat with my inner child. And I really focused on what I wanted to change to be able to move forward in the best and healthiest way possible. And lastly, she says, I did the work. I broke the curse. I chose myself on purpose. And now my blessings are hitting public because I chose to heal in private. Meaning, this will all come full circle, y'all. I promise I'm bringing it together. Meaning, God will heal you in silence and spotlight you once he has trained your heart up enough to have full faith in him and his process. So what that means is, that's all he wants. He wants you to have full faith, blind trust in him and his process and what he's doing for us and in our lives. So you have to do the work. You have to choose you on purpose. And God will reveal you when it's time for you to be revealed. He will build you in silence, and then boom, he will reveal you once you have fully surrendered to him and fully surrendered your heart to his ways, his faith, all of that. So the last part of this episode, we're going to be talking about when to reveal your wins. Ding, ding, ding. The results of your being quiet and building quietly will speak for themselves. You don't even have to, that's the thing. You don't even have to really reveal anything because they're going to speak for themselves. It's going to come a period in time where stuff is just going to start happening and it's just going to be out there. It is what it is. It speaks for itself because you built it like that. So earlier I stated that asking God for clarity is a good way to know when to reveal your fruits. What you've been building will be ready when it's ready. Don't focus on so much of when it's ready. Focus on building it. Focus on the work that it takes to go into it. Focus on how you can make it better, what processes you can do and take it, what you can learn. Put that energy into how you can make this thing better. Don't worry about when it'll be ready. It'll be ready when it's ready. You know when your mom used to cook dinner and you're like, Mom, when's the food ready? It'll be ready when it's ready. You know, that's what you have to do. Don't put too much into the unknown. And that's our problems. We put too much into the unknown versus putting that same energy into what we can control and what we can focus on and what we can do to strengthen it and build it and make it better. And I know that is vague. I'm so sorry, but it's just me being honest. It's ready when it's ready. Timing your visibility is strategy, not secrecy. Don't be fooled thinking you have to rush when it's your time. You will know, and God will reveal it to you. I'm going to say that again. Do not be fooled thinking that you have to hurry up and get this thing done. I got to hurry up. Why? Why do you have to? Why? You will know, and God will reveal it to you. Again, I know that's vague, but trust me. Just listen to me, y'all. Just remember, some seasons require silence, not announcements. Privacy is protection, not punishment. And then let people wonder how you did it. Because, baby, listen, they're going to come to you. Girl, how did you do? Dang, how did you do that? What did you do? What do I need to do? Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Those people need to do the same work that you did to heal and create and build and pray and meditate. And they need to do that on their own. Don't you fall for that trap telling people how you did what you did. Let them figure it out on their own. Because God protects you like that. God protects us like that. I want you all to think about something that you're currently building that you haven't mentioned yet. And remind yourself that is okay. Remind yourself that it is okay that you have not spoke about it. You are on the right path. And then this week also, because I want to start doing kind of not like homework, but I want to just kind of give you guys some like tips and tricks to kind of or journal prompts to kind of go off of after I leave you, because these are the things that work for me. I've been doing journal prompts lately and they've been helping so much. So this week I want you to pick something else that you're building and protect it like it's sacred. You can write it down, tell yourself. You don't have to tell the world. Write it down, tell yourself. But pick one thing that you are building and protect it like it is sacred. That's it for me. Thank you all for joining me today. Here I guide, I'm not going to say women anymore. Here I guide others through self-discipline, development, meditation, and emotional regulation to create lasting transformation. By blending feminine softness with structured ambition, I teach others how to build divine bodies, regulated minds, and elevated standards. This is not chaotic growth. This is intentional evolution. If this episode resonated with you, share it with another who's also in their transformation era. And remember, healing, growth, and power can exist at the same time. Until next time, stay intentional, stay disciplined, do no harm, take no shit.